Currently in Hope Beach. Hello, how are you?
Right. $58, please.
Well, we are officially on the return portion of this bike trip. Currently in Hope, BC. Left North Island yesterday, Port McNeill, traveled south, met up with a buddy from the event, followed him down in Nanaimo where we spent the night, went out for supper last night with a good friend of mine that lives there. Got up this morning, we grabbed the ferry from Nanaimo down to Sawasan. Dealt with all the dreadful traffic and construction coming through the lower mainland. If I had my time back, I definitely would have picked a different route other than that, but it is what it is at this point. We're past it. Now I just have to choose a route home. Thinking about going to Soyuz, potentially up to Coke, I'm not sure. Just kind of sitting here on a picnic table after gassing up the bike and grabbing a snack and thinking about it. My bike is actually giving me a little alert light, which indicates an electrical fault. Nothing critical, but still... hopefully not. It could potentially indicate a problem. Keeping my fingers crossed that it isn't. But, yeah. In the meantime, I'll sit here for another couple of minutes and check the weather forecasts and routes and decide where I'm going. I'll let you guys know when we get back on the road. Well, decision was made, and we are in Kamloops for tonight, if you couldn't tell by the signs. I'm definitely not over concerned about the fault light on the bike. It's definitely not a critical issue, I don't believe, but I feel like it's worth at least seeing if I can get a dealer to check it out. So that's the plan. We're in Kamloops. We'll get up tomorrow morning nice and early. We'll catch Kamloops Harley-Davidson first thing when they open and see if they can have a tech take a quick look at it. Check to see if there's any codes, see if this is something that's going to lead to a bigger issue or if they can just clear it and we carry on. So as far as the route out of here tomorrow, not 100% sure yet. We'll see if that takes up much time tomorrow or if it takes any time at all. I have no idea what the outcome of that's going to be. So we will wait and see till tomorrow morning after we're done at Harley to see what our destination and route is going to be coming out of Kamloops tomorrow. Definitely taking a different route home than the one we took here. So we'll still get to see some new stuff. You guys probably saw the active fire that was going on top of the Coke there. The Coke actually this past week was actually closed for a day, if not two, due to that fire crossing the highway. Back open now, of course. There's no issue there, but definitely still an active fire fairly close to the highway. That could change at any minute. So if you are traveling in the area, just by the time this video comes out, it ain't even going to matter. But always check highway conditions before you go, okay? Pro tip. I also learned a valuable lesson today that you should always, if you open your saddlebags, to take anything out of them when you stop, check to make sure you actually latch them before you roll out again. I did not do that after one stop today. So while I can confirm that the lids on the newer Harley Davidson saddlebags are good up till speeds at and maybe only slightly above speed limit, if you did have a hat in said saddlebag, it won't be there when you stop. Thanks to the nice passerby who did actually point that out to me on the road from their minivan. Pull over the next stop. Luckily enough, I didn't lose anything that was of any significant value other than the fact that hat's gone. No major loss. As I already said, we're in Kamloops for tonight. We're headed to Harley first thing in the morning. Hopefully they can have a look at that fault light for me, and we will check in with you guys in the morning. Well, good morning from Barnes Harley Davidson here in Kamloops. Brought the bike in right away. I can put it on a code reader, see what comes up. Hopefully it's just something minor. They can clear it. We'll get on the road right away. We'll find out soon. This is day 8 on the road, so we've officially been on the go for just over a week. See how long this takes us here, and then we'll determine our route for today. Stay tuned. Big shout out to Barnes Harley Davidson for getting me in so quick this morning. Turns out the light was on due to an oil pressure switch, so they replaced that for me. Also turns out my oil was a little low. Guess it's very normal for these M8s to go through a bit of oil. It's about a liter down, so they topped that up for me. All under warranty, but lesson learned to keep a closer eye on the oil level from now on. But anyway, we are gassed up. We are in Kamloops. We're going to head for Vernon and see where we go from there. Let's get on the road. Quick stop in Vernon for some gas. It's in the words of a friend of mine known as Fireball, too much gas is only ever a problem if you're on fire. Luckily, we're not on fire. We are full of gas. We are going to head for the cusp and head towards Revelstoke for tonight. It's going to include a couple of ferries, some fantastic roads, and I'm just hoping that some of these rain clouds stay away long enough for us to stay dry, because I am not putting rain gear on today. I'm going to manifest some sunshine. So let's get on the road. Highway 6 is an absolute must ride if you're on a motorcycle. It's a mountain highway, super twisty, up and down. Working our way over to Nakusp, waiting currently at the Needles Ferry, which is a free ferry. It takes you across what I believe is, I think it's called Upper Arrow Lake. And we got about another half hour after that. We'll be in Nakusp, where we're going to stop and have a late lunch. And then we're going to work our way north, take another ferry, and spend the night probably in Revelstoke. So we're going to get off the bike and stretch our legs for a minute while we wait for this ferry, which is actually powered by a cable to get back. But I'll catch up with you guys on a boat. Little bistro I wanted to eat at was unfortunately closed. But this place will do. Just happy to eat something that doesn't come out of a gas station. Also wanted to mention, between the fairing, windscreen upgrade, and handguard upgrade that I've done to the road glide, it does a very good job at keeping my upper body nice and dry in the rain. I haven't ridden in anything like torrential, but we rode in some pretty good rain today. That's why I didn't get all the number 6 on camera that I wanted to. And didn't put rain gear on, and I only got wet from like the knees down, and mostly like the outside of my legs. So super happy with that. Let's get some food.
After. Can't leave before the bottom of the hour.
Oh, fair enough.
Everybody's on cell phone now. Used to be they left at the bottom of the hour according to the captain's watch. How did that match your truck? And then people go, well, it's 28 after. So, yeah, well, talk to the captain when you get on it now.
Yeah, I know, I hear you. Second ferry of today, last ferry of this trip, crossing from Galena Bay over to Shelter Bay, which is just south of Revelstoke, which is where we are headed for this evening. We got a room booked there. Probably good timing as the sun's starting to dip below the mountains here behind us. But a super cool guy waiting for the ferry to let me sit in this truck. So Brad, if you ever watch this, shout out to you, buddy. I owe you a beer one of these days. We'll catch up with you guys back on the road. They're actually working on twinning this entire section of highway. But I didn't know this construction was coming. My bike is going to be so dirty by the time I get to the other side of this. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the top of Rogers Pass. We left Revelstoke this morning, stayed in the Northwinds Hotel last night, had supper at Zala's, both were great. Headed to Golden right now, just ran through some construction, got my bike in a bit of a mess, so not only am I going to be looking for lunch there, we're going to be looking for a car wash too, because got my Harley looking like one of my adventure bikes right now. Weather is absolutely beautiful. Hopefully it holds out like this for the rest of the day, because the route that we have planned, it's got some phenomenal views that I want to show you guys. So let's get back on the road. Well, that ride took way longer than it should have, getting to Remy from Golden here, thanks to all the construction. Currently stopped in Golden, we grabbed a snack and some gas here, and we are definitely finding a car wash before we leave town, because my bike is absolutely filthy. So let's go clean this thing up. We may change routes just for the sake of time here this afternoon. We'll see. I'll make a decision after I get this thing clean. Well, we are in Lake Louise, and from here we have a decision to make. We can either take the Icefields Parkway, head out towards the Saskatchewan crossing into Nordegg and Rocky Mountain House, which is definitely the longer, slower speed route, or we head towards Calgary, take the 22, which is the Cowboy Trail north, up towards Rocky Mountain House or Drayton Valley, or I can actually even zip all the way out to Calgary and just take the number 2 up to Red Deer or wherever I decide to finish this evening. I'll definitely have more options for stops on that route. So we got some thinking to do. Probably not going to be happy with the decision I do decide to make, but also kind of want to get home now that I'm getting close. So you'll have to wait and see. Well, not my first choice, but getting late in the day here. Sunset's pretty quick in the mountains. Got stuck here funny to actually helping an older couple from the Netherlands top their car up with windshield wash and airing up some tires. So always feels good to help somebody. But a little late in the day, so we are going to head straight towards Calgary. we've had a great trip. Looking forward to getting home, so we're going to take the most direct route to get there. So head for Airdrie tonight. We'll grab a room there probably, and then it'll be just a straight shot home tomorrow. So let's get back on the road. Well, we have made it to Airdrie. It's going to be home for tonight. Little bit of regret not taking the Parkway and out to Nordegg that way, but it was getting late in the day. Based on the clouds and the weather that I saw forming too, we probably picked the drier route. So I'm good with my decision. This sets me up for a straight shot north tomorrow. A lot of mundane highway riding, but we knew it was coming at some point. Probably about 650 kilometers from here to home. In the meantime, we are going to relax here for the evening. It's about 7 o'clock. We're going to get a bite to eat, a good sleep. This is the last day of the trip tomorrow. Sad as that makes me, I am kind of excited to get home. So, talk to you guys in the morning. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to day 10. It is our last day of this trip, last day on the road. Going to be one of our longest days of this trip. One of the most, well, we split it up on the way down, but we got about 700 kilometers to do today to get home, and the majority of it is just mind-numbing, relatively straight divided highway. A necessary evil for where I live, but it never gets easier to ride it. Having some regrets not trailering my bike to Calgary, which is a habit I got into a few years ago. Decided not to do it this time. And don't get me wrong, Road Glide loves, or I should say is super comfortable. Just crushing highway miles. It has absolutely zero issues with it. But me, on the other hand, it's a different story. But anyway, we got a big day ahead of us today, but it is our last day. I'm excited to get home. Let's get on the road. Well, we are currently stopped in the small town northeast of Edmonton called Gibbons. We are about 300 kilometers or 180 miles into our trip today, and we have about 400 kilometers or 240 miles left to go. Weather's been great so far, as you guys can tell in the background. It's a great sunny day. Riding hasn't been terrible. There's a little bit of construction. We had to top up for gas in Red Deer. I left Airdrie this morning, wasn't full, so topped up for gas there quickly. And then booked her up the highway to get here. We just had some lunch, coffee. We're gassed up again. And now we are northbound. We got some 2-lane highway from the next hour and a bit. And then we'll get back on the divided highway all the way home. Let's get back on the road. Well, that's the last gas and food stop, literally. We got 120 miles or 200K left to go. We are 300 miles or 500 kilometers in so far today. Colors on the leaves behind me are a stark reminder that the season is coming to a close. So it's unfortunate, but we had a great ride to close it out. Let's get these last couple hours over and done with, shall we? One last quick pit stop on the way home. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that were actually super convenient and made a difference on this trip. First one, these hand grips right here. They're from Memphis Shades. These hand grips are from Memphis Shades, not sponsored, paid with them with my own money. I was a little skeptical putting them on, not gonna lie. Of looks and function, I've always had a set on my adventure bikes, so you guys are like these ones, so I figured I'd put a set on because I thought it might get a bit cooler than it did. But not only did they help keep like bugs and rocks and things off your hands, which really hurt at highway speeds, but they also kept my hands perfectly dry riding in the rain, which was great because that allowed me to use a lighter, thinner pair of gloves, which always gives you a better feel on the controls on a bike, which is important. Second thing I wanted to point out is the Saddleman S3500 bag that I brought with me. Side access, so convenient. Taking a layer off, when change something up, you need somewhere to put something. Bag's completely tied down to the bike. Easy access. Gives you great access to the whole compartment. But we're taking a quick break here on the side of the highway. We got an hour left to go, but 100K, 60 miles. And I'm looking forward to getting home now that I'm this close. Let's get back on the road. Well, guys, that's a wrap on this trip. We are home, safely tucked away in the garage. A little over 5,500 kilometers, which means I'm at just over 7,000 kilometers now on the road glide for the season. See how many more I can get on it before it's all said and done. Maybe I'll put together a little review video on it. I could probably offer an interesting perspective coming from adventure bikes, as it seems a lot of guys I know have gone the other direction. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that has watched this all the way to the end. Hopefully I was able to break this up in 2 or 3 episodes, keep it interesting for you. Tried to step up the vlog game a little bit. We will see you guys on the next trip, the next video. My season's coming to an end here pretty quick. I got some ideas to get me through winter, and hopefully these help. So we'll see you guys on the road.